Bears.
Oh, bears, child neglect.
Clip it onto your strap.
My strap?
Yeah. Here. Not there.
My strap?
Your strap. Wait, let me just take a puff. Why is it not done charging? Hi everyone.
Hey guys.
Welcome back to the Oat Milk Lesbian.
Welcome.
Why does the camera angle feel so fucking weird? So on to, what are we doing?
We're talking about losing friends.
Yeah. Why Why suddenly So
Because-
the title was Face Idea.
Yeah, the title was my idea because as you guys know, Zoe and I are in our 20s, our mid-20s actually. And a common theme that happens in your 20s is losing friends. So
Yeah.
we're here to tell you you're not alone. If you have zero friends, zero bitches, zero everyone, this
Good.
is the right episode for you. We're going to talk about how we have zero bitches, zero friends, and
Zero bitches, zero friends. Legit, right?
Yeah.
My proper friends whom I kind of like talk to and tell things to, right? It's just like less than 5 fingers.
Yeah.
I feel like less than 5 fingers. Probably only 3.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah, dude, 3. Like
No,
the
I
rest
don't
is just
have
kind of
much
like,
as well.
yeah, the rest is just kind of like,
Yeah.
oh, catch up lah once in a while, let you know what goes on in my life, and that's it.
Yeah.
Not people you connect on a deep level with. Anyway, yeah, why you thought of this episode so sudden?
I thought of this episode because I wanted people to like first of all, right, whenever I'm scrolling TikTok, I don't know why, maybe it's my algorithm or something like, but I always get all those like, hey, 29 lessons I have as 29-year-old, or like 25 lessons I have as a 25-year-old. And the common thing I always see is you're going to lose friends. You know, so I just wanted to talk about it because I feel like as queer people, like, first of all, it's really hard enough to find friends.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know how like we managed to find each other. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's already like hard enough to find friends, and
Yeah.
like especially friends you can like stay with for a few years.
Yeah.
And like first of all, not date. Date, that's the most important thing. And like move on with your friendship, you know. So I guess this episode is about us sharing our experiences with friendship and why you have to like not worry about it even if you lose friends. I mean, it is bound to happen to everybody.
Yeah.
I am so sure everyone's going to lose friends in their life.
Yeah.
And not by death, by the way, just by
Just,
differing life paths.
I guess so. You could put it that way. Well, the thing is that I recently, just last week, was it? I think it was just 1-ish week ago,
Yeah, I think 1 week ago.
I ended things with my friends, like officially, like 2 of my friends, I ended things with them because prior to that, like for 2 months, I was already like, fuck these bitches, man. Like, a lot of things were going on lah. And then eventually I met up with them because they're fucking passive aggressive towards me anyway. Met up with them and told them everything from A to Z, and I was like, to be honest, I don't even know if we can continue being friends after this. And so like within 1 to 1.5 weeks ago, I cut off another 2 friends. And by the way, I already cut off damn a lot of friends before that, like fuck ton. And a lot of them, I kept them at arm's length too. Like some of them is not too bad, like whereby you don't have to cut them off 100%. Some of them you can just keep them at arm's length because it's not that bad, right? Like it's just that some values are differing where like, okay, you're okay as a distant-ish friend, but this one was just like cut off. Yeah, so I recently lost 2 friends that was very hurtful actually, to be frank. When was the last time you lost friends? Like cut them off?
I think like I think it was 2019. That was like 5 years ago.
2019.
Yeah, but I've said this story like so many times.
Is it the one that the camping one?
Yeah, the one that I yelled at, like that girl. So it's like, I mean, like, okay, to be honest, I would say like in your life, you're actually gonna, okay, there are gonna be friends you lose, but it sometimes can be just like normal friends. But you're even gonna lose friends that you're super close to. I think that is the worst one. Like people that you share a life with. And like, I guess in my case, it was like I shared a life with these friends.
Yeah.
And like at one point, it felt like we were going to be friends forever.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
like we were going on like 3-4 years about it. And
Yeah.
it just felt like the kind of friendship that would last. And I believe it
Yeah.
would too if like, you know, people were healed.
Yeah.
But people weren't healed.
Yeah.
So that was how it was like. And I think like obviously friendship breakups are definitely a lot worse, in my opinion. But I never been in a long ass relationship, so like I cannot tell. But I felt like those hurt more for me because I felt like I spent a lot more years with people who are like my friends and everything. So yeah, that was the last time I like cut off somebody like for good.
Yeah.
I mean, I did sort of cut off another friend like 4 years ago. She was I wouldn't say she was one of my closest friends, but like close enough. Like we knew each other in high school and everything. But she did someone dirty in my friend group, and I chose my friend's side. So as a result, like she was cut off.
Yeah.
In that case, so you will lose a lot of very significant people in your lives. But I will say one thing though, there are some people whom like I was close to like back then, and then I didn't get close to anymore. Like we sort of drifted apart because of distance or like different locations and everything. But then you might somehow reconnect with them in life. So life is kind of funny that way, you know. Sometimes you would like not be so close to someone, but later in life you'll be close to them. Or sometimes you will be super close to someone, then suddenly you're not close anymore, then suddenly you're close again. And it has definitely happened for me, like for a lot of cases where like there are friends that I, you know, never really spoke to, or like I was very close to them, then suddenly we're not close anymore, but then we're close again. So all kinds of things happen, and I just feel like I'm at this point in my life where I'm just kind of like okay with anything that happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shitty thing. Like just to think about losing any of my current friends now feels like fuck to me.
Yeah.
Like it feels like absolute fuck. I feel like I don't know how I'm gonna be able to deal with it, because I think I was spiraling and all that. But I just feel like because it just happens all the time, that it makes me feel like I cannot hold on to things so much. You know, sometimes things need to take its own course.
Yeah, I get it.
Even though it's a like, how to say, it's a very heartbreaking thing to think about.
It is.
And I don't want to think about it. But I also acknowledge that life happens. And I can only do my best.
Yeah, I get it. But the thing is that like whenever I take on that sort of mindset whereby like you're okay with losing your current friends even though it feels like fuck, to me it just feels very lonely, because like the thing is that for me, if I trust people, I really trust people, and if I believe that we're going to be like friends for a long time, I really truly believe it. And then the minute I have that sort of like mindset where I detach a little bit from the outcome, right, I start to automatically, I think it's a subconscious thing, but somehow I just pull away from them more, because I just feel like I don't want this to hurt as bad when it happens. So I feel like I cannot have that mindset, you know. So, but yeah, actually the friends that I did lose like 1.5 weeks ago, and I think you know, right, they are like one of my closest friends.
Yeah.
And that to me, I was just like, I also back then I always thought that like, you know, these are good people, these are people that I would have my wedding, my funeral, people I would have by my deathbed, people I would call my ride or die lah. I did call them my ride or die lah, ride or die, whatever the fuck, ride or die. I called them that, and then for it to turn out like that, I was just kind of like, this is a fucking disappointing and upsetting thing, and it was like terrible actually, it was quite terrible, and I was actually quite heartbroken by it. So it's like, sometimes you never really know, you know? Like even, and that's what really sucks, man. Because the people that you see now, like around you right now, that you would think that you guys are going to be friends forever, you're going to be close forever, you're going to be this, you're going to be that, you're going to be in my life in 10, 20 years time, you're going to see this and that in my life, you're going to witness this and that. You never know how it's going to fucking turn out in 5 years time actually, and it's fucking scary.
No, it is very scary. Like,
it's scary as fuck.
Like one thing I learned for sure in friendships, especially people whom I've known since back then, a lot of things can change. Like a lot. Like you may be completely different people to each other, which the thing is, it's okay to be different. Like I'm not saying it's not okay to be different. In fact, I think there's a lot more strength to having different personalities in a friend group rather than not. But for me, I just feel like what it has taught me is that a lot of circumstances will change for a lot of people, and it will affect them. And it will affect me. Like, you know what I mean? As you grow, you will have things that affect you, and they will have things that affect them. If it's not a good thing, it might affect your friendship. And of course, like I would not hope this like on any of my friends to change for the worse or something. But like I also acknowledge that it is something that, because I have seen it happen before, and like it has happened with people. So that's why I'm just like you know, like for example, like I was telling you, like my friend who like I've had a falling out with, like it wasn't like this before. It was fine. Yeah. Until like mental illness came. Which like generally people, when they are mentally ill, they will not have as much capacity. But sometimes capacity is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking more about like consideration and like hurting your friends, all these kind of things. But it gets very blurred up. Yeah. But my point of saying all of this is that something bad can happen to a person which changes how they treat you. Yeah. A lot of things can happen. Even like, I was just telling you this the other day. Like I was saying, like people change when they're in relationships also.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
most of the time, people will prioritize their relationship over their friendship. It's a very common thing that happens.
Yeah.
So I'm saying like even something as good as a relationship happening to a person that will change someone's behavior to you, what more something that affects them negatively, how it will change them towards you.
Yeah.
Which is why like I've sort of just accepted that, like I know it's a very shitty thing to accept, but like I just feel like if I don't accept it, I cannot live normally.
Yeah.
Because I'm just very like emotional about these things. I'm very emotional about friendships. I feel like people who have been friends with me know that I get very emotional about friendships.
Yeah.
So it's like when any sort of like breakup happens or everything, right? I literally spiral. Like I don't know. I just cannot do very well with it. But I figured out actually a way for me to sort of like move on from that is just to accept that it could happen. But just trust that right now, what we're having is a good thing, and I just have to cherish that. You know, I don't know
Yeah.
what bad thing will happen. Maybe like some bad thing, maybe it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Like you never know. But I also want to like trust that I will know how to handle it and try to save it if I can.
Damn, talking about this is quite I
It's
don't like
depressing,
it.
right?
I don't like it because to me, right, okay, blood family to me is a no already lah. Like blood family to me is just like I just feel like blood family doesn't even really care in the first place. Then when you talk about relationships that we've had in the past, okay, I'm just gonna talk about myself specifically because I know I speak on your behalf, right? People that you date don't even give a shit about you, frankly speaking.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, don't even give a shit about you. Now you go to friends, right? And friends is something that to me is one of the most genuine like relationships that you can ever have, because it's just a really special bond, you know, that has nothing to do with romantic whatever or any sexual relations or whatever, no blood relations, whatever. And so you know this is one of the most genuine forms of relationships. And to think that could happen about a form of relationship that is so fucking genuine is actually so fucking sad. Because to me, how I view friendships is like, I can die alone, I don't care. My family can disown me, whatever. I have my friends. But then to think that like you may lose your friends too, that shit lah, we all just gonna fucking die alone lah.
Yeah. No,
So sad.
I think when I had to come to this realization in the beginning, right, I was fucking depressed.
Yeah.
For like, I think probably like about a few weeks. I was like spiraling about this thing. And then I was like, I mean, but it's been like a year now, like a year or two since I had that realization. But like, when I had this realization, I was just kind of like depressed because I was like, of course, the immediate picture is your current friends. And to think about just ending a relationship with them is just like, I don't know, it fucking kills me to think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, I also try to tell myself that like, I actually met a lot of good people that came after my friendship breakups.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
all of you guys came after my friendship breakups. So I was like, that's why I trust that, okay, even if something wouldn't work out right now, I can at least trust that like I will still meet good people. I will still be able to have deep, you know, connections with people and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also still a very like
It's
shitty
terrible
thought to think about.
It's fucking terrible lah.
Yeah.
To think that could potentially happen to your current friends. Because
Yeah.
it's like when you look at your current friends, you're just like, oh my god, the bond that we've built,
Yeah.
you know, where we have come to like as friends and all of that, and to think that like, oh shit, what if something happens with the two of us and then I'm gonna find somebody else? Like, holy shit, think that about your friends, right? It's like, oh my god. Ooh.
Yeah, dude, that was me with my old friends. Like, I thought we were going to be at each other's wedding. It was very serious. It was a very serious friendship. And yeah, just to think about how it ended, I'm just like I'm depressed, even thinking about it again. You know what I mean? I feel like one reason I want to associate it with is probably because we were in our early 20s. And that was when everyone is messy as hell. I was a fucking mess as well, I'm not gonna lie. When I read back like my old messages to people or like look at myself in the past, I was like, I was a messy bitch. Like
Yeah.
for damn sure. But like I want to believe like now I'm not that person anymore, and like the people I meet are not messy anymore. That's why I want to believe that like my friendships currently will last because of age. But then again, like I also have to self-soothe myself by telling myself, okay, just don't be too upset if like it doesn't go your way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I have more confidence now, I will say that.
I get it, but then again, you think your friends right now are not messy, but I think it's because we're at the same mess level. When you look back, when you look back and you're less messy, right? When you're less messy when you look back, right? You're gonna think like the earth now is like messy as fuck.
Oh my god.
You look at the shit that's coming out of our mouths, right? And I know a lot of you guys have shit to say, right? Look at the stuff that's coming out of my mouth, lah. We hate this person, we hate men, we hate being gay, we hate being straight, we hate everything. That is messy as fuck, you know. Non-messy people will just be nonchalant about it. I feel like they won't entertain until that depth, you know. Because the fact that we're making this episode itself, right? If I were to tell my therapist about this, then she's gonna be like, "Why do you think so much? You don't need to think about that now." You know, the fact that this episode is in the works is like, we be messy, bitch.
We put a camera in front and talk about this.
Yeah.
Oh my god, okay lah, fine lah. We still be a messy bitch here and there lah, okay? Come on lah, you can never not be a messy bitch, okay?
I think so too. I think we'll
everybody
always
gonna be messy for life. Like, just be so for real. Like, the only difference is we have a camera here.
We have a camera and we are, I would say, more unhinged.
Yeah,
and
we're
we
more unhinged about
align with what we actually truly want more. Because actually, I feel like if you were like everyone else, where we care so much about image, where we care so much about like what other people think of us or external validation, I think we'll just be as messy as them, frankly speaking.
No, actually, you know, right? I actually think, not to flick my own bean, but I'm going to flick my own bean. I think that the more unhinged you are, the less messy you are actually.
Yeah.
Because, right, some of the most messy people I've seen are the people who look like they are like fucking shiny one. Like, you will never, and I know all this because I've dated people like that. I know like the most like cleanest looking person is actually the most messy motherfucker out there. Because the thing is, right, there's no such thing as a person who isn't messy. Everyone is messy as fuck. Like, I know it for sure. Like, I just know it. And I just know like people who pose a certain way, they are covering something up.
It's either they're covering something up or it's just that they want to come across a certain way.
Yeah, they want to come across a certain way.
Yeah.
Because like, I just feel like, for example, I want to give an example like Kang Neng. So I think Kang Neng is generally someone who's unproblematic.
Yeah.
But he's willing to say whatever he said on camera.
Yeah.
You know, so I just feel like it's either like this. Like, you
Yeah.
either just say your shit or you don't.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's why I just feel like, okay, yeah, we are messy, but like, you know our mess.
Yeah.
You know, we don't fucking like go hide behind walls and like, okay, suddenly next thing you know, like, oh, I'm into my cousin or something. Like random shit like this, you know? So that's why I'm just like, oh bro, it's just,
I feel like
I believe everyone's just messy.
no, I think confidence comes from being able to be open about your mess, being able to be open about your insecurities, being able to be open about your problems or your pains and everything. It's not to say that you show all of your shit to the internet. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's like you're okay with admitting it. Right?
Yeah.
Rather than like something happened and you're just like, like I just feel like people just want to hide a part that they're ashamed of, and that's like a very obvious sign that somebody is insecure and not really accepting of themselves. It's giving insecure.
Yeah.
You know?
Shame is not real if you don't believe it is.
Yeah, that's why embarrassment doesn't exist if you don't ever feel embarrassed. People can be embarrassed for you, but if you don't give a shit, then it only affects them, right? It doesn't affect you, right?
Yeah, for example, Jojo Siwa.
I feel like that is a bad example.
Yeah, it's a bad example, but like that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I am so cringe at Jojo Siwa. Like, I can't. I'm so sorry. Like, I even muted her all over my Twitter because I don't want to see that shit. But like, she's still doing her thing. And like, that's the point. Like, okay, you should still keep doing your thing even if I think you cringe. And that's how I feel about how other people are with me. If you think I'm cringe, you think I'm embarrassing. If you think like whatever I'm saying is actually very shameful, I'm still doing my thing.
Yeah.
And probably like whatever you have inside is shameful as well. You're just not showing it. That's the difference.
Yeah, no,
but it doesn't mean
correct.
you gotta show it. But back to the point. The point is everyone actually has something embarrassing to say.
I think we're all embarrassing. I think we are all like the whole cringe thing, right? Like how everybody is just like saying this and that is cringe. And maybe it is, but I think cringe is a very normal thing to experience. Like you yourself, if you do something that's cringy or you say something that's cringy and people around you who care about you cringe at that shit. But like to me, right? it's such a normal thing for everybody to do something that's super cringy.
Yeah.
I just think it's really normal. And I think it's like one of the most self-loving thing that you can do is to allow yourself to do the thing that everybody thinks is cringe. To allow yourself to do something cringy and watch it and be like, ew. I think you're like, ew. But okay.
Yeah.
You know? I just feel like that's like the best part about it because you are truly accepting like every layer of yourself.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
How did we get here?
I don't fucking know.
ADHD.
Well,
We're gonna get diagnosed one day. I don't even.
I don't even give a shit to get diagnosed, honestly.
I give a shit.
No, because to me it's just like okay lah. If I have it, then I have it lah.
Okay.
Because to me, right, I feel like ADHD and neurodivergency, to a certain extent, at least for me as a person, it makes me a brilliant person. I really believe. I feel like if I didn't have ADHD, I wouldn't be able to start all the businesses that I've started and do all the things that I've been able to do because it makes you just think.
Yeah,
you just think
yeah.
and then you start doing. You're like, holy shit, I can do this, I can do that, and it's just your mind. Your mind goes crazy, and I fucking love that.
Yeah, no, actually, I think like wherever I get to, whatever that I've done and however I get to where I got was because of ADHD. I wouldn't have gotten anywhere. I'm not gonna lie. I think ADHD people are the ones who get good grades.
Yeah,
Dude,
well,
you know, like okay, for example, you can bleep his name. He's always like the top of his class. Bro has severe ADHD, and even now he's a professor. You know, he teaches like fucking statistics, and he has ADHD. That's what I'm saying. Like ADHD people are brilliant.
they're all
They are
brilliant in a way.
insanely brilliant.
Yeah, no, I get that. And did you know, I feel like, I don't remember, I read up somewhere that it says that majority of entrepreneurs actually have ADHD.
I believe that actually.
No,
like,
because
how do you get there?
Yeah, how
You
can
need
you...
ADHD.
Yeah, how can you be normal and be an entrepreneur? That doesn't make any sense.
No. I believe so too. I'm like, all the good things that come into this. In fact, I believe like even every politician has ADHD. I'm not gonna lie.
Donald Trump?
Bro definitely has ADHD. Like he for sure has it. Donald Trump. Don't you think he has ADHD?
Is he neurodivergent or is he just dumb?
But he's dumb enough to not give a fuck.
That's true, yeah. At least he's unhinged.
Yeah,
We gonna
he's-
get cancelled for this, but like he be unhinged as fuck.
Yeah.
What I truly believe is that you need to have the right level of hinge and unhingedness.
Yeah.
You need to be hinged at the right points in life and unhinged at the right points in life.
Yeah. By the way, just a disclaimer: we don't fucking support Donald Trump. In fact, we fucking hate him.
Yeah.
And we also absolutely are like against everything he campaigns for. But we're just saying.
How can we? This is giving the how can I be homophobic? My bitch is gay. we can't stand for what he says, right? Because we're gay, what?
Yeah, we don't. No, but there are gay people who stand for him.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, we don't. Actually, we stand for nobody. We don't stand for Biden as well. But anyway, sorry, how did we get here again?
I don't know.
What were we talking
Friends,
about? No, then after we talk about friends, we were talking about something else.
hingedness,
Why did we talk about that?
confidence,
But why?
embarrassment,
Okay,
cringe.
But why?
Jojo Siwa.
But why?
I also don't know.
How did we even get here? You see, guys, this is like 24/7. Our conversations are like this.
No, seriously, right? It's, okay, a lot of you always ask us, right? How come we have so much shit to say to each other? Before we click the record button, we had another 1.5 hour conversation with each other, okay?
we did.
And then when we were sleeping over for Rachel's birthday, right? We were supposed to go to sleep, and then we started having a conversation about veganism, and then it went to our ops. I don't know, that conversation ended with us talking about our ops, right? And then 4 times in that conversation we say good night and start talking again. Good night and start talking again. And good night and we start talking again. 4 fucking times until we fell asleep.
No, literally, and the day before, right? Oh my god, the fucking day before, we were okay. So I was like, "Hey guys, let's video call for a while. I want to talk for a while." And then the talk became a 4-hour talk.
Yeah. And we went to sleep at 4 in the morning.
Yes, we did. And it was so crazy because how do you even start? I think we started with saying like, how are the cancers doing? Okay, because there was like, okay, basically it's me, Zoe, and one of our other friends who's a Cancer sun. So as you know, that
Yeah.
Zoe is a Cancer moon, I'm a Cancer rising, and then my friend here is like a Cancer sun. So like, basically we were like yapping, and then it started with like, oh, how are all the cancers doing? And then
And
afterwards,
nobody answered.
nobody answered.
It's just Van who answered. And then you started yapping.
And then I started yapping, and then suddenly I started talking shit about Virgos, and it's like,
Hello.
I don't even know what happened. How do you even end the conversation? But the point is, right, you ask us why we never run out of podcast conversations to say. It's actually because There's a lot more things that we talk about, and I think the podcast just covers like
it
Like,
covers like
quite
20%.
yeah, quite little actually.
I don't know why we have the energy to yap so much and we never run
it's
out of
ADHD.
shit to say, you know. Every single time we see each other, it's another thing and another thing and another thing and another thing. It makes no sense. I don't get it.
No, it makes no sense. And you know, like like the whole Central C drama with like Madeline.
No.
Okay, but anyway, there's a drama going on where like Central C cheated with Ice Spice allegedly, and then like Madeline was like saying about it lah, and then literally today she made an episode, right, and then you know what was the intro? Guys, I have good news to share with everyone. I finally got my ADHD meds. That'd be us. Because she is also the same. She just yaps and yaps and yaps, and it's like literally her title has no correlation to what she's yapping about. And I feel like that's all ADHD people. Like
The title of this is going to be Losing Friends, and then here we are talking about unhingedness and ADHD.
yes, no, legit. We can't even stick to the fucking topic.
We can't.
Because we have so much shit to say.
No, but you see, I think that's a really good thing, because like our conversation just flows. And from what I realized, because I asked my friend, right, apparently he has a lot of friends that watch us that I don't know about.
Oh, okay.
And then he was like, okay, actually these people don't even like watching podcasts. They don't even like listening to people talk. But then for some reason they like listening to you talk.
Oh, wait, who's this?
It's
Oh, okay.
like he was like, these are straight people who don't even like watching podcasts, don't even like listening to people talk, and they're just like watching you for some fucking reason. And I'm just like, great. And I think ADHD is doing a good thing for us here, you know?
I agree. I love ADHD. Period. Like,
And then I remember, right, because we're writing a book, which we said we're gonna release by this month, but that's not obviously not gonna happen because we're fucking busy, right? And then I remember, right, I would just type, and then suddenly I typed 20 pages in the book. And then I would tell Darren about this, and he was like, girl, you for sure have ADHD one. Because which motherfucker can type 20 pages full of shit, right? And it's not like our font size is big,
Oh, yeah,
our
it's
font
not
size is
big.
not big, by
it's
the way.
10 calibri, by the way.
It's like, it's not a big font size, and to be able to type so much, right, in like 1 hour, your brain has to be fucked up in some way.
Yeah, legit. Literally, I was like having ramen with my boyfriend the other day. Well, it's the one that I told you about again.
Yeah.
And then like we were talking, and then suddenly don't know why it suddenly got to the topic about mental illness and neurodivergence. And then he also thinks that I have ADHD because he has ADHD, and he feels like we're both the same because we just keep fucking talking about anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, I remember when the first time, okay, I don't know like if you guys know, I think I've said this before in like previous episodes, I have a very different personality at work. I think like at work, people just don't really like see this side, obviously, unless they watch the podcast lah. And then like basically like when he first came, like I didn't know how he was. I wanted to size him up lah, obviously. So I was like, how is this guy like and everything, because I'm working closely with him. And then afterwards, when I found out that like, okay, he might have some neurodivergence, then I just started yapping to him non-stop every fucking day. 8 hours a day, work time, just yapping. That's what I did for a living. All I did was just yap, and I don't remember what I even yapped about. But basically, my point is like, yeah, we will never run out of things to talk about. Every ADHD person will never run out of anything to talk about.
I don't get it.
Yeah, no matter where you are in life, right, you will have something to talk about one.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
like
and sometimes it's
dude.
sometimes it's not even about the stage in life that you're at, Sometimes it can be
No.
the most randomest thing.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like,
I
okay,
don't get it also.
with all the ADHD people I talk to, like when I talk to neurotypical people, I'm just like, okay, that's it, right?
Yeah. You have nothing to continue on after that.
It's not engaging, but when I talk to you, right, we can talk for hours on end and then still meet the next day and still have so much shit to talk about. That's with you, right? With
Yes,
Rachie
yes.
also, I thought like fuck only. With Darren also, we'll talk suddenly it's 5 o'clock in the morning and the kopitiam open.
Legit.
I don't understand.
Yeah. I feel like with neurotypical people, the conversation just like stops.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing to continue about. And I feel like sometimes like I don't want to say some things also because they're probably gonna look at me like I'm crazy.
It's not just that, because when you say something also, they'll continue it with something else, but it doesn't really, it's very, the conversations that they have is very different. And to us, I feel like for people with brains like us, it's not very engaging, and you're just like,
Yeah.
nah.
And yeah, maybe like, I don't know, for them also I noticed, right, they'll be like, why do you think of these things? Then I'll be like, how do I answer that?
Yeah.
I just do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I cannot shut the fuck up, man. I swear to God, if I have a partner, right, all the best to them, because I'm going to be talking until 4 a.m. And it's not the kind of talking where it's like, babe, do you still love me? It's more like, babe, do you know that humans and aliens will fuck in like 1,000 years later.
Right. Just now when I was setting up the OBS for the Twitch stream, I was like, oh yeah, Hitler is actually Austrian, he's not a German. I would just have random thoughts like that.
Yeah, me too. I have like, like my mind is just like, I just think about whatever all the time.
Yeah.
I think about any damn thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking about a dolphin right now. Like it's just like random ass things, like all kinds of things. It's just like you're just thinking about stuff only.
No, it's crazy because I was having this confrontation with the two friends that I lost, right?
Right.
Then suddenly I had a business idea. I was just confronting them. Then I stopped in my tracks. I was like, hold on, I just had a business idea. It's so funny. And then my therapist is like, maybe you should try to stop thinking. And then she's like, maybe you should just go to a cafe and sit down and then just stop thinking. Then she's like, and I don't mean you start thinking about your next business and what beans that they're using and how. Don't do that. Just sit down and do nothing. She'll fucking say that to me, and I'll be like, I will try, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because to me, the only way to not think, right, is to do things like painting or working out. Like I need something that quiets my mind. But even when I'm doing something that quiets my mind, like let's say for painting, right, I suddenly get a new idea. What if I do this concept and that concept? Like it just won't stop.
Yeah, it won't.
It won't shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I ain't gonna shut the fuck up also. Like even like when I work out, right, I still think about a lot of things, man. I'll be like, but I would say when something engages me physically, I am less likely to think about random stuff.
Same.
But it's like I still do. Like when I work out, I have all kinds of thoughts also. And by the way, when I say this, I don't mean anything sexual. It's just exactly what I mean, all kinds of thoughts. Like I just think about whatever. I think about the weather. I think about like the end of the world. I think about what my colleague said to me last week. Just all kinds of things.
Yeah, I get it.
So it's like all these things lah. Yeah.
But right? I don't know where I read, and I think I texted in the group chat about this before. Your mic died. I texted in the group chat about this before, right? Don't hold it too close to your mouth. And I was like, I read somewhere that basically, I'll hold it for you. Okay. I read somewhere that like apparently nicotine soothes the mind of somebody with ADHD. And I don't know if I'm thinking about that because I want an excuse to continue vaping. Because generally I feel like I should stop vaping, but I'm just like, actually, you know what? I think it does help soothe. Because I feel like even Darren, right? He vapes like fuck only. He vapes more than me lah. And I feel like without our vapes, right, we'll go mad, And I don't know, I think it may be addiction too, but at the same time, I really feel like at every stage in my life, I need to be addicted to something. I really feel like I need to be addicted to something. Like before this was alcohol, which was fucked up actually. It was because of depression actually. But in every stage of my life, I need to be addicted to something. I need something there. Like in the past, like when I was a kid, it was painting. I would paint non-stop. I would draw non-stop. I would do this and that non-stop.
Oh, that's very healthy actually.
Yeah, then it became vape lah. But point is, you need to be addicted to something. I feel like as a person with some neurodivergence.
No, I totally agree. And I feel like that's probably why I'm like doing Duolingo. And also Duolingo and like working out. And also like I started doing this diary thing that I saw from Wyoming. Like he was doing this like diary thing that was kind of cute, and I started doing that every day. So I feel like all these like daily obligations make me like less ADHD, because I'm like, oh shit, now I have to do my Duolingo. Oh shit, now I have to do this. Oh shit, now I have to do that. Oh shit, I have to take creatine, like all these kind of things. Like, so like I feel like daily like recommendations, like always like daily things lah, just help me, sort of figure out my ADHD and everything. Okay, but what was I gonna say again? Okay, I fucking forgot. Like, actually, how the fuck did we get here? Okay, we were supposed to figure out how we get from like friendship breakup to Jojo Siwa.
I don't think we're gonna figure it out until we watch the episode back.
Okay, let's think hard.
No, if we think hard, we're gonna think of other things.
No, but why did we go to talking about embarrassment from losing friends? Like, what is the correlation?
I don't know.
There was a correlation and we are missing the correlation.
Why ah?
I don't know. I'm thinking lah. I'm asking you to think also.
I cannot think.
What was the correlation?
So funny because we always be thinking, but we cannot think when we need to think.
What was the correlation? Okay, losing friends, painful chapter, blah blah blah.
I need to put this to charge. I don't know why it's not charging.
Is this something to do with straight people?
I think so.
What was the reason?
What was the reason?
God, I don't fucking know. Oh my god, you see guys, this is the problem with ADHD people, like our minds just end up going everywhere that we don't even know what the fuck was like the main point to begin with. You know what I mean? It's like we just went everywhere and we just like lost the plot. And actually this whole video is supposed to be for us like self-soothing everyone about losing friends.
But then we talk about ADHD.
Yeah, we talk about ADHD. Okay. Let's try to go back to the plot. Okay, it's about losing friends.
I ain't got shit to say though. Wait. Okay, about losing friends. What did we want to say? What did we say already? Losing friends, coming into acceptance that we're gonna lose friends, depressing. Last time you cut off friends. Last time I cut off friends. I think that's it lah.
But no, how did we get there to Jojo Siwa? I remember we were trying to make a point about something.
The Jojo Siwa was an example of being unhinged and not giving a shit about embarrassment. But here's like, yeah, we don't.
Oh, I know already. So it's the whole thing where we were looking back about being messy, and then I said that I was messy as fuck. But actually, to be honest, if we look at ourselves now, 10 years later, we're like, damn, those two bitches were messy as fuck.
Yeah.
Okay,
It was that.
back
Okay,
to that, back
how do we continue?
Okay, give me. Okay, basically, okay.
That's it lah.
No, that's not it. We need to continue. How long is it? How long has it been?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll just like talk fast and
40
then
minutes.
wrap it up. Okay. So yeah, we are. So
We have lost friends. That's it.
we've lost friends, and yes, I think I would like to make an argument to say like, yes, we are messy as fuck right now, and yes, we have a camera in front of us while we are being messy as fuck. But like at the same time, I just feel like I'm more like conscious now. Do you feel that about yourself?
Conscious about your mess?
No, not conscious about your mess. More like I feel like maybe a better way to put it is like my frontal lobe is developing. Because like in a way I feel like everything I do right now is more intentional, I feel.
I get
I think back then I was just like on autopilot. I just did whatever. I just like whatever I did was really like, I know like we had this conversation about how like I'm impulsive and like whatever.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, like 5, 6, 7 years ago, that was worse. Like it was worse to another level. Like sometimes when I look back at my old messages with like people or like the decisions I've made and the Snapchat stories, I'm like, oh my god, I don't relate to her anymore. Like that was how messy I was. Like, so that's why I just like to think that probably right now I'm more like conscious about things that I do. I'm more intentional about them. That's why I feel like my friendships now have a better chance of going until death than not.
That's true.
Because I feel like right now, like I'm more equipped with like communication skills. I'm more equipped with like conflict resolution, and also at the same time, I think like because a lot of things I do now is also very intentional. Like I care more about how I act with my friends. I think maybe back then, like, sometimes people can hurt each other. You just do something and then this person misunderstand and then like you have an argument, whatever. But I think right now I'm more conscious of what could potentially cause a misunderstanding that I just try to avoid it. Or like I kind of know how they will react to something that I may not mean. And so like I'm more conscious of how I act. So that's why I just feel like I am a better friend right now because of all these factors. And that's why I feel like my friendships currently have more potential to last.
What was your question to me?
How do you feel about mess and like yourself right now and how your friendship will go forward?
I don't know. I just feel like, okay, because I think back then, right, the friendships that I had are honestly not as deep as the friendships that I have now. Because obviously back then, when you're younger and stuff like that, you don't know as much about yourself. You don't know yourself that deeply. And so in that sense, it reflects in the relationships around you as well, including your friendships, right? And I think the reason why I have been cutting people off or keeping people at arm's length and keeping only a select few around is because I am able to understand those people just as deeply. Like the bond is a lot deeper and a lot more meaningful, like when you're able to meet them to that depth. You get what I mean? Like the two of you are able to see each other to that level of depth. And that's why like I feel like, first of all, repairing my relationships with my emotions, understanding myself in a very deep manner, being introspective, I felt like that has been very beneficial towards me as an individual and also towards the relationships that I have with the people around me. And it also helps you to filter out like who you keep in your life, like as actual friends. Like obviously if you want to talk about like friends that you have that you don't talk to every day, you can have a lot one. You can have a lot, but friends you truly like confide in and vice versa, and you tell them about things and tell them about things like the fact that we talk about our dads just now, you know, like things like that is very. I feel like only a select few can actually do that with you, because honestly, right, what I feel like is that like if you do that with so many friends, you yourself also don't have the capacity to do that for everyone around you, right? So obviously only a select few people you can do that for and vice versa. So I just feel like with friends these days, I feel like the depth of the relationship is so much deeper. It's like really just so much deeper than it was back then. You know?
I totally get what you mean.
And yeah, okay, I'm just gonna say this one sentence. And the thing is that like losing friends that you do not have that depth with is probably not as painful, even though it is painful. But I feel like if you have such depth with those friends, right, and you lose that friend, that one's gonna be fucked up lah.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
What do you want to say?
No, I wanted to say that like I totally agree with the depth thing as well. I mean like I do believe my past relationships and friendships have been deep as well. And that's why losing them was kind of like shitty. But at the same time I'm also feeling like back then I was very open to having deep connections with anybody.
Yeah.
To be really honest with you. Like
Yeah.
that's why right, we hang out once, twice, I'm like, looks like we can have a deep connection. But these days I'm more gatekeepy about that.
Yeah.
I'm more like, so I can understand like sometimes when people meet me, I feel like some people might wonder like if I'm just being shallow with them. But it's really not because of that. It's more because I just feel like now it takes me a longer time to sort of vet people out. And it's not really because of anything. It's more, yes, one thing is a self-preservation thing, but other thing is, as you said, Lord, like I realized like, no, I cannot give that kind of capacity to everyone.
Yeah.
I don't have so much capacity to give to people in actuality. And what I did last time was that I just burned myself out.
Yeah.
You know, and burn myself out is one thing, but also like, you know, like if you look at it from a business point of view, it's also better to have less friends because quality control.
That's true.
Right. Like, let's say, right, you have so many people that you trust. Let's say I have 10 people that I trust, 10 people I can share like everything with. And then if word goes out about me, like some bullshit or like some things that I know that I only told these 10 people, I'm gonna have a rough time trying to vet who did that to me.
Yeah.
Or who did me wrong or who did me dirty. Because of course when you are in a friendship with someone, right, secrets go out. Secrets are traded. Like personal things are traded. And whether or not their friend wants to use that against you, that's up to their discretion lah. But let's say if I only have 2 friends, then it's so much easier for me to have a proper confrontation with either one of them.
Yeah.
You know? And I think back then I was kind of like, I was very open to have like deep connections with just anybody because I just felt like at the time, oh, you know, like let's just see where it goes. Like, you know, I'm always open to new connections. I'm always open to seeing where like it brings me and all that, until I realized that that's not the only thing I want in a friendship.
Yeah.
I want reciprocity, and I also want like people to put in effort.
Yeah.
Because for me, right, I can be deep with anybody. Being deep is not the hard part.
Yeah.
Being deep is actually something that happens naturally. Like when you
Yeah.
have a relationship with anybody, you will naturally get into a deeper connection with them.
Yeah.
But what makes or breaks the friendship is how much effort you put into it. And I think that's the part that always hurts people the most.
Correct. And that's the reason why I cut off my 2 friends during that like one and a half months ago. Actually, I wanted to say something, I forgot what it was. I want to talk about like the mistake that I made, I feel like with friends, you know, because for me, I genuinely believe, and this is not a branding that I put up, I feel like I am generally a giving person in whatever way that I can give lah. Like sometimes I may not be a super observant person. Sometimes things may fly out of my head or whatever. But to me, I just feel like I am a giving person and I want to be a giving person with the people around me. I think the mistake I made was that I was willing to do that for anyone, just anyone. Even people whom I've had only like one conversation with, I would just be willing to like help and shit like that. And that shit burned me like fuck. That shit burned me like crazy. And I feel like to be doing this for like everyone or so many people, right? Number one, yeah, you're going to get burned out. Number two, you're going to get burned by that person who is just probably using you or whatever. Just from one conversation, you know. Also, how the fuck did we become close?
I don't know also, I don't remember. You see, that's why I say these kind of things just happen naturally.
Because I remember there was one point in time,
I think I know why.
What?
Because we both started yapping so much on our close friends list.
Yeah, but
Then we
there's
start
one point in
replying.
time- There's one point in time I removed you from my close friends list, remember?
Which I didn't even know, by the way.
Yeah, but I removed you. Then I think I added you back in, and then you saw all the shit that my ex did to me. 'Cause I
Yes,
didn't know-
but I don't think that was when we got close. I think when we got close was when I was ending things with Redacted.
Yeah, and then
Because
you
that's when I
confided
asked,
in me.
yeah, I asked you out. Because before that, we never really had a proper conversation.
Yeah,
I mean, we did, but like it's not like now in the podcast, as you
Yeah.
guys can see.
Yeah,
I think it was then, yeah.
yeah, and that was
It's-
the time I was going through shit with Redacted too.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that was just a year ago, you know?
Really?
Yeah, because I ended.
I think it's one.
1.5 years ago. 2022.
2022.
22, yeah.
2022. I remember it's 2022.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I remember
yeah,
during
yeah.
that time I was also going through shit with Redacted.
Yeah, it's late 2022, yeah. Then we got close. Yeah.
Either late 2022 or early 2023.
Yeah.
I think it was early 2023, sorry.
Maybe early 20.
A bit about like 1-ish years. And then shortly after that, we started the fucking podcast. Huh?
Girl, we messy as hell.
Wait, correct or not?
Yeah, it's correct. It's correct. It is correct.
In only a couple months time, we started.
One thing Lesbian's gonna do is doing it fast.
Whether you're in a relationship or in a friendship, you know?
Yeah, whether it's moving in together or starting a podcast together.
Yeah.
It just be like that.
Yeah. Okay, does that wrap up the episode?
You got anything else you want to add?
No, for now, no. But probably when I shower that time, I'll be like, oh yeah, I have more things to say, but it's fine.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it. And like,
For now.
I guess like what we want you guys to take away from this is that, you know, don't ever be afraid to make new connections. I feel like one thing I would say is that I don't regret any of the things I did. I don't regret the people I tried to have a deep connection with. I don't regret any of the friendships that I've made and like lost. I don't regret any of it. And I feel like maybe it is part of the process for everybody. So like you don't really have to like follow what we say because we are just sharing our experience. But it doesn't mean you should stop yourself from making friends or like putting yourself out there, because sometimes, right, you never know how your own story turns out for you. You know what I mean? This is how it turned out for both of us and what we learned from it. But we only managed to get here and say all these things because we experienced those things. So yeah.
Yeah. That's the end of the episode. Oh my god, I remember saying to you and Darren when we were at the event space last week, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm so scared if I were to ever migrate, right? Because I don't want to be alone in a city where I know no one and everybody around me is fake and not genuine. And it took me so long to actually find good friends with the level of depth that I have with the people around me right now. And it's just so fucking scary. But like at the same time, it's just kind of like, because you and Darren told me, right, that you guys just showed up. We didn't look for each other, actually.
Yeah, actually.
We didn't look for each other. You guys just showed up.
Everything in life is just about people suddenly showing up in your life.
It's so weird.
Yeah, it's very weird actually.
It's weird, but actually it's kind of comforting too, you know?
Yeah, sorry, can I say something about this?
Yeah.
Sorry. Like one of my best friends who's like at the time, last time she was my best friend. We're not on talking terms anymore. But like how me and her met is that we were lining up to pay our taxes one day and she just was behind me. It's really as simple as this. Okay, were we paying taxes or doing something else? I don't remember. She was behind me and I found out that we were from the same class, and then I started asking her because I didn't do the summer reading. So I was like, guys, I'm fucked for this class. Like, I don't know. And then she just summarized like everything for me. I was like, oh my God, thank you. So, you know, it's just like, sometimes it's just a very unsuspecting moment where like the person who will mean so much to you will suddenly just appear in your life.
Right.
Like my other best friend whom I've met, whom I'm no longer friends with as well. Like how me and her met was that we had a floor meeting because I was on the same floor as her in the dormitory. We just were in the same floor, and then they were calling us to give us like to explain about like, you know, fire hazard and everything. That was just how I met her. And at the time when I met her, she hated me lah. I don't know why. But like I feel like I have this thing where people, when they first meet me, they sort of hate me, and I don't really know why. Like even one of my friends at the time, like my current friend, can bleep her name out. When she first met me, she hated me and I didn't know that.
Really?
She hated me for 2 years. I did not know that at all. And when the time I was getting close to her, she actually hated me the whole time. And then I was like, I had no idea you hated me. Maybe I'm just like ADHD. I thought you liked me. But the thing is, like, the reason why she hated me is because she thought I was like very sombong. But I think I was just probably like neurodivergent. Because I genuinely, as far as I remember, like, I genuinely liked her the first day I met her. So like, I don't know why she thought like I disliked her or I wanted to like whatever. So that's why she hated me for 2 years. So anyway, the point is, right, my other friend, that one, she hated me as well. I don't remember why she hated me. But we became the closest of friends lah. And she was somebody that I've always traveled with, to move places and everything. She was like a very important person to me at the time. Like when I think about all these things, it's just like, I didn't look for them. They just kind of like showed up somewhere and we became close.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think how life works that way. Like with everything, like your lover, your friend, your whatever, they just somebody who walked past you or something.
Wait, hold up. But don't you think, right, it's easier for people to just show up in your life when you're younger? Because
That's true.
Because now we are at the age where it's like mid-20s and we're no longer in college, we're no longer in school, we're no longer in like spaces where it's not work related basically. Like then that just really means that it's a lot harder for you to meet friends. And somehow with like the rise of technology and everything, so everything that we do is gonna be online, or it has already started becoming online and everything, like even things like shopping, right? So I feel like the older you get, the harder it is to just come across somebody and make friends with them, because in general I feel like people at this age and older, they would have already made meaningful friendships in their life, right? And when they meet somebody on the street, they're just going to be like, okay, cool, it's just like a one-time interaction, one-off interaction. So I feel like, and there's no intention or reason for you to meet up with that person again, because like let's say for example the one that you were doing taxes with, right? Okay, she helped you with your like summer reading and everything, but you guys are in the same class, so that's why you guys met again, right? And like with also is because you're in school together and you share the same friend group, so you guys meet again together. But if you think about like situations where you are not connected together by a community or by a structure like classes or college or whatever, there is almost no way for you guys to meet again unless you go out of your way and be like, hey, do you want to like go makan or whatever.
I know a way you can bond. Trauma. That's how we bonded.
That's true.
No, that's how we bonded with like most people, to be honest. Like, okay, I can say, okay, for example, how did I suddenly meet with Kat? Okay, I know I met Kat through you.
Yeah.
But I think it's like how we got closer is like also through trauma. Like trauma
Shared
bonding.
difficulties.
Yeah, shared difficulties. Reggie, the same thing as well.
Reggie,
Yeah, we met on the live, then we started sharing like traumatic stories and like, mommy issues, daddy issues, all the issues. Like, and with Ren it's the same too. Like at the time we managed to get close because like bonding over mommy issues, bonding over like women, like I think trauma is a good way to like get closer to someone, but I wouldn't recommend it for like
just anyone
lah, okay? Like, it's something that definitely naturally happens. You were born over trauma. But it's like, don't just like make all your friends through trauma bonding.
I feel like there are other ways to, like, okay, I wouldn't say like the power lifter, I wouldn't say that we are close friends, but we are to a certain extent friends lah, okay? And I feel like, the more I talk to her, the more I'm like open with her about a lot of things, and we bonded over like how women are afraid to work out, or how I was so shy or intimidated by the gym and everything, and how like I grew past that. And because she's the kind of person who is she feels very proud of the people that she teaches. Like when she sees women in her classes finally gaining more confidence to work out, she legit cries out of pride and joy for them. It's like such a genuine thing, and it's just like, so when I realized that when I opened up to her about these kind of things, I feel like to a certain extent she was also very happy about it. And like I feel like there are other ways that you can bond as well, like through things that the two of you believe in. Like through so many things, or through the stages in your life that you guys are at, or through your careers and everything like that, and the difficulties that you guys face or obstacles you guys face in your career. It can also be a way for you guys to bond, not just trauma lah. I feel like because back then we were really messy too, we were all going through it lah. Actually, we were all going through it. So, and during that time, it was a bit more prominent in our lives lah. You know, we were facing a lot more problematic things, and we were even more unhealed, right? So I guess that's why, like, because now if you look at us, what the fuck are we bonding about? We're fucking bonding about veganism, Jojo Siwa, a lot of different things, you know. So I feel like there's so many ways to bond with people around you.
Oh my god, that's so true, and it makes me realize that everything is just about timing.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually crazy, you know,
It
to think
is.
about it. Like, sometimes, like, how you end up, like, being with a person, like, or getting close to them, right, takes a certain level of timing.
Yeah.
I guess this is, like, one of the reasons why I stopped, like, stressing over stuff also, because I feel like maybe, like, someone I'm meant to bond with in the future, like, have a friendship with or have a relationship with that I'm not meeting right now, or I have met but yet to discover that connection, is because I'm not where they're at and they're not where I'm at. But like, it's either a good or bad. We could either bond about the good things or the bad things. And so like, yeah, it's just crazy. It makes me kind of feel like a lot of things are fated sometimes.
Yeah.
Because like, how the fuck are we all going through it at the same time? Same fucking time, you know.
Today, you know?
Yeah.
Even within the past 1.5 to 2 weeks, we've been going through the same shit.
Yeah. No. It's crazy. It's like legit crazy. It's like our, like, okay, I mean, I would say this as a friend group, like between us, right? Like, our traumatic moment was like 2022, 2023.
And it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. And it's the same themes, by the way.
And it's the same time.
Same problem as well. Yeah, it's crazy. That's why, like, we, for some reason, from all those like traumatic experiences, we deepen our bond. And it's like, it's just so weird to think about sometimes, because it's like wow.
You know what's the funny thing? I feel like by watching you and how you are with your friends, I've actually learned a bit about how to be a better friend. But also, I also learned about how to be a better friend from my traumatic experiences. So lah. But it's just that when I watch the way like you and your friends, your group of friends do things, like I remember you telling me like how like you were sad for a bit that you guys lost things in common in life, right? Mm-hmm. But then I realized that like a lot of things that you guys don't need to go out of your way to do for each other, you guys still do it. Mm-hmm. And then I was like looking at that and I was just like, oh, okay, cool. Because prior to uni, I actually never had like a proper friend, like an actual good friend. So I was just like, okay, I didn't really know like how friendship is supposed to work. And when I made friends with that group which Darren is in as well, I felt like it was a very flaky group. Eventually, when over time I learned like what obligation really meant through my relationships with the people around me and through watching you and your friends as well, then I was like, okay, yeah, this is how you nurture friendships as well. Because I mean, if you would do that for your partner, why wouldn't you do that for your friends, right? Mm-hmm. And I started like realizing like, okay, so basically by watching you, right, I learned how to be a better friend.
Damn, okay.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
No, yeah, for real. Yeah, and then I was basically comparing you and your friend group when I was confronting my friends. I was just like telling them, I was like, you know, when Faye did this and that, and then her and her friends would do this sort of thing, and then I realized like, oh my god, my friends are so fucking flaky. That's what I said to the people that like I cut off. Mm-hmm. And then it was because of that I realized like who wasn't actually a good friend. So I think I learned a lot about platonic relationships through like just watching you basically. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just wanted to add that in.
Okay. Yeah, guys, like, what was I wanted to say? I wanted to say something just now, but I forgot.
Friendships. Learning to be better friends, obligations.
Yeah. The obligation thing, you know, I think I've said this 1,000 times, but I'm going to say it again. I should make a t-shirt out of that line one day. Mm-hmm. But like, I just feel like I just fucking hate it. Like, you know, I talk about this with my close friends, because I was saying like, oh, you know, like, I fucking hate like how our generation desires community so much, and yet we look at obligation like it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a bad, actually, like, let's start with the basic thing lah. If your parents don't feel obligated to you, that's child neglect.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah.
So like, are you telling me that like it's normal to not feel obligated to someone? And like, for you guys, you always view it as like a restriction of free will and whatever, but are you telling me your free will is that you don't want to care for this person? Like, is that what your free will means? Then fuck off. You know, like, and that's the thing I fucking hate about people, and that's why I just like don't really have intentions to make like new friends, because I just know a lot of people, like especially people like our age or younger, they are very like into this whole like relationship anarchy thing, but in like a very stupid way, actually. A way that is more like, oh, you know, like you shouldn't feel obligated to someone. You should do things out of love, out of this. But I'm like, what if I do things out of love and out of
the
this?
obligation is out of love, you know? And
Yeah.
I feel like that is like the highest point of love.
Yeah.
Because like,
It's even higher than wanting to do it out of will.
yes, because it's like doing something when you're tired, it's just like, damn, like I care about you to that extent, you know?
Yeah, like, to be really fucking honest, there's like so many times where I don't feel like doing something, to be honest. Actually, most of the time I don't feel like doing something. And I'm gonna tell you why I don't feel like doing it. Because for me to get out of my house, to go anywhere, that costs like minimum 20 ringgit to go out. And that's why like I fucking hate going out, because I know I have to spend money. Why do I fucking do it? Because I feel obligated in a way that is a love thing. It's not because like I'm doing it out of like, oh, I have to do it or whatever, you know? Like I do it because I want this person to know that my connection with them is very important to me, and I know that this is how they're going to feel loved and supported, even if it comes at a cost to me. And I will still want to do it because my priority is this person feeling love from me, you know. And like that's the thing I hate about people, where they're always like, no, like mental health, no, like capacity. I'm just like
No, because
it's not
some of
even
you are doing it to everyone, I feel.
yeah,
You're
okay,
randomly doing it to everyone. That's why like
Yeah.
you always complain about capacity, because you don't filter out the people around you and who you should be doing it for.
yeah, that's true, like literally, like all these things are very simple things. They are just like celebrating the people you love, showing up for them, you know, speaking about them like with care and love. And like literally like, everything I listed out, I forgot what I listed out really, but basically it's very, very basic things, but most of it is like about showing up. And like I don't know why you guys always act like it's the fucking end of the world and everything, but exactly like what you say, it's more because like you don't know how to manage your capacity. That's why you feel fucking burnt out from everyone and everything.
Yeah, okay, I was about to say, right, the reason a lot of my relationships ended or failed was because people, number one, don't know how to manage their energy, don't know how to manage capacity, don't know how to filter out people around them, and end up getting a burnout. And secondly, is because they do not feel that obligation is a thing that they should have, because they're, just to put it bluntly, they are just lazy and they just don't want to do things that they don't want to do when they don't feel like it. Like I feel like that is the thing that causes most relationships, not just platonic relationships, romantic relationships, relationships with your family, even if you have kids, with your parents, everything, right? Okay, I'm gonna take the parent side out of it, because sometimes you can be obligated towards them and they don't give a shit about you. But point is, this is the thing that ruins a lot of relationships that could have blossomed into something bigger and that actually would mean a lot to both parties, you know. And I think, and that is the reason my the two friends that I cut off 1.5 weeks ago, right, that is the reason why that relationship ended too, because like they were not willing to, I was willing to stay up all night to support them and to meet them and to help them, even at my own expense, even at the expense of my work. I would go out of my way to push opportunities to them and everything like that. But when I asked them just to meet up just for an hour, they would be saying shit like, oh, I'm tired, oh, I don't want to do this, oh, I don't want to do that, oh, I have work tomorrow. And it's just like, even for things like birthdays, right? So the thing is that a lot of times all these relationships end is because you do not hold yourself to a standard with the people that you care about.
Literally.
Like
Literally.
you would, it's nice when somebody does it for you, but at the same time, if your friends don't do that thing for you, like let's say celebrating your birthday, right? If they don't do it for you, you're gonna feel hurt. But why would you only like hold that double standard where it's only for you? What about the other person, right? I'm gonna close the window, hold up. Not this, you know what this reminds me of? Remember that time somebody commented in our YouTube and they were like, why is there yodeling in the background? Like, it's prayers, by the way, guys.
It's not yodeling, bro.
It's not yodeling. But yeah, this is the reason why most relationships end, because you don't hold yourself to a standard.
Yeah.
And in turn, I feel like also you expect other people to hold themselves to the standard with you, but you don't reciprocate it.
No, literally, like, why I even posted about all of that to begin with in my close friends was because, like, I saw that quote that was like, you know, entering someone's life is a pretty big deal. I wish we were more careful with it. And I totally agree. I feel like, why do we fucking treat it like it's like nothing?
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, whether you fucking like it or not, these are the things you need to do to deepen a bond.
Yeah.
You cannot just deepen a bond like just with shared experiences alone.
Yeah.
Relationships don't fucking work like that. You don't just like feel like you can have a deep connection with someone just out of conversation. It's not like that. Like, at least to me, I don't fucking care what other people say. Like, you can have a deep connection with someone and they don't show up for your birthday. Will you call that a deep bond? Is that still a deep bond to you? It's all these simple things actually that make up for like the overall big picture. And as I said, it's fucking showing up. And so like that's why like yeah, literally I just feel like currently I have no capacity to be with anybody. One thing is because of capacity reasons. The other thing is also because like I know how a lot of people are like. And like so like sad to say this, but like a lot of queer people are like this.
Yeah.
I just fucking know it.
Oh my god, you know one thing I remember? The two friends that I cut off, they didn't even show up for me at my mom's funeral.
What?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
What?
They didn't show up at my mom's funeral. It's fucking fucked up.
Okay, that is fucked up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't I wouldn't even know if I'm gonna be friends with anyone if they didn't show up for a big thing like this.
Yeah, no, for real. And I cannot remember, but I feel like during then yeah, I don't have my during then it was like I don't even think that they kinda knew.
They didn't know that your mom passed away?
No, only like 2 weeks later they knew. Yeah, I was just like, wait, but I posted it on my Instagram story though, just to announce it. And it's just like, and the thing is that like, I remember like tweeting back then. This was in 2018, right? I tweeted about like how like, oh, I miss my mom's soup and everything, and he would like reply to my tweet and say, you can come over and have soup, my mom's soup if you want, like anytime. And I'm just like, actually, all this is just talk cock sing song only. You can say these kind of things, but actually don't mean it and don't do anything about it. Like, somebody can give you like words of affirmation and the sweetest fucking words to console you in like times of distress or times of like need or whatever the fuck, but doesn't actually show up for you. Like, I realized that. And I think the thing that fooled me the most was that this person would always say the sweetest words, but he would do the most fucked up thing. Like, for example, staying friends with Redacted, who traumatized the shit out of me till I didn't even want to go out of my house. Like, he would still stay friends with her while saying to my face like, oh, I'm so sorry you went through that, or oh, like, fuck this person, fuck that. But you would still stay friends with her and talk about mechanical keyboards. You know, like, I feel like words at this point, like, it's very nice to hear things for people to console you. I agree, especially when you're feeling like down or when you're going through some deep shit. It's very nice to hear these kind of things, but if it doesn't get followed up by action, right, that aligns with the words, right, it's really just meaningless at the end of the day. Because like after years of being friends with this person, seeing how they say things to me versus what the things that they do for or don't do for me, I was just like, actually, you know what, this is a fucked up friendship lah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. That's why like I feel like until today I can never see words of affirmation as like a love language.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like it's something anybody can do. I can fucking do it also, but I'm not gonna fucking do it lah. But like, you know, just saying like a lot of all these kind of nonsense, like I'll be doing this for you, I'll be doing that for you, like I'll be there for you, blah blah blah. But it's like when the time really matters, where the fuck are you?
Yeah.
So I just don't really fucking like believe anyone anymore these days. And I don't think it's a trust issue. I think it's more like just like I just take everything with a pinch of salt until you actually do it. Like there's a consistent pattern to someone doing it, then okay, I'm gonna believe you. But everything else, whatever people say, I just take everything with a pinch of salt.
Yeah. Anyways, at the end of the episode. Yes. Okay, y'all, this is the end of the episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. And please remember to buy us coffee because we're drinking water only now.
Yeah, we don't have fucking coffee.
No coffee already. Yeah.
Trenches. We didn't even have food just now.
Yeah, on our Twitch stream, right, we were just like, oh my god, we're fucking starving, we're gonna die of starvation and blah blah blah. But yeah, anyway guys, buy us coffee and thank you for joining us. We'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Okay.